Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My name is Tendai, not his real name. I am a man who is aged 24 years old. I am staying with my uncle's wife and we are thinking of moving to South Africa. The reason as to why I am staying with my late uncle's wife as lovers, it was because me and her, we did a deal and we ended up killing her husband, my uncle. We planned this since the time when I started staying with them, just after I had finished writing my O-level exams. After I had written my O-level exams, then I started sleeping with my uncle's wife. At first, it was something that was just like we would be playing around, fooling around, and we were never going to get serious. But we did get serious, and I feel as if I was created for her and she was created for me, meant to love each other. So my uncle's wife was the one who suggested that my uncle was supposed to come to the village to collect me, to bring me from the village and to come with me to Harare, because there were no opportunities for me in the village anyway. So she wanted me to come so that I can go to college, maybe to try to do mechanics. This uncle of mine was my mother's brother, but he was a man who had been blessed, truly blessed by God. And when you know that a man has money, obviously he would have a lot of women. Indeed, he had a lot of women, and this was really painful to my uncle's wife. She told me that she was stressed out. So he had a mining claim in Berengwa as well as Shurugwi. So he was involved in a lot of gold buying and selling, and that is how he was making his money. As for the wife, she also comes from a very wealthy family. How can I ever deny such a woman, such a beautiful, mature woman who knows what she wants in life, who has a very good paycheck, and she does her own thing. She has a farm, and on that farm she has this project where she is keeping some chickens, and those broiler chickens. So she has a lot of money, also coming from a wealthy family. When I started staying with my uncle, since he was a man who was involved in a lot of gold buying, gold selling, including a lot of stuff that cannot be talked about in public, I even found out that he was dealing in rhino horns. He was never at home. Most of the times, he will be out doing his business dealings. One day, me and my uncle's wife, we were busy watching Netflix. Whilst we were watching Netflix, there's this other movie that we were watching there. As you all know, that Netflix, it always plays those types of movies that all of a sudden, boom, it will be a romantic scene, people making love. So me and my uncle's wife, we started looking at each other. I felt for her and she also felt for me, as those people were making love on the movie. And then the next day, that was when she said that she wanted us to watch another movie again. But since it was cold, she said, can you please come to my bedroom so that we can watch this movie together? And she felt so tired. And when we were watching, she said, are you not feeling cold? You can come and join up with me in bed. So I went and I then joined up with her. We were sleeping in the same blanket. And that was when we started touching and kissing and we slept together. And throughout the night, we did this. From that day, we kept on sleeping with each other. And then that was when one day she was just sleeping on top of my chest and busy touching me where it really felt so nice. She said that she had been thinking about ending her husband's life. And since I was madly in love with this woman, she is the first woman that I have ever been with. I was afraid that if I refuse, she was going to deny me sex. She was going to stop giving it to me. And then that was when I agreed to do whatever that she wanted me to do, whilst we were planning. Initially, she wanted me to physically kill her husband. To kill him, she said. She even bought a brand new knife, a very sharp knife. And when she bought that knife, she said, you are supposed to use this to stab him when he is not checking on you. I was too scared. She was also afraid of the police. Then she took me and she went with me to a traditional healer. We drove all the way for a very long time. We went to Chipinge. So there in Chipinge, that was where a witch doctor was staying. We did some rituals that I could not even understand. When we returned back, we still had that same knife that she had bought that I was supposed to use physically to kill him. That same knife, it was still used. That was the same knife that we used, but this time around we did not use it physically, but we had to use it spiritually. Brother Nashi, at that time when we returned back to the city, we kept on planning and planning, and after we had been planning, we returned back, and I was told that I was supposed to be in communication with my uncle at all the times, pretending as if I wanted to know how he was when he was doing his business dealings. Whilst I was in communication with him, I had to ask him, when exactly will he be returning back home so that I can go and bury the knife outside. I had to make sure that I buried this knife when he would be returning back home. Yes, indeed, on WhatsApp, I was communicating with him. He then told me that he was now driving from Kwekwe, returning back to Harare. I quickly grabbed my pick and my shovel. I then ran and I went outside. This was late at night, and I started digging. As I was digging, and when I saw that the hole was big enough and I could not go any further, I buried the knife. I buried that knife, and then I started chanting and speaking the words that I had been told by that witch doctor to say when my uncle will be coming back. So I said that this knife is going to be the end of you. When my uncle came back, when he got out of the car so that he can open the gate, because I had disconnected the battery from that little box that controls the gate, since it is a remote controlled gate, so I had turned it to manual. So when he called, I did not pick up the call because I did not want to go out there before he could step on top of that hole where I had buried the knife. I wanted him to step on that knife that I had buried there. I delayed a little bit until I heard that the gate was being opened manually. I went outside, quickly apologizing to him that I was busy taking a nap, so I did not hear the phone in time. He then said, it is fine, it is fine. When he was about to get into his vehicle, he screamed and he was like, oh my God, what happened to me? And I asked him, he said that he felt as if a snake had bitten him. I switched on the flashlight on my phone. We searched for the snake and we could not find it. And he said that he felt as if there was someone who was busy stabbing him on his right leg. We went indoors. He kept on complaining about the pain. He was feeling a lot of pain. Later on in the night, he got so sick. The next morning, he was supposed to drive back to Rishavane, where he was supposed to meet with some gold buyers who were coming from South Africa, since he had a lot of gold in the house, but he could not do that because he got so sick. The time that he passed away, me and my uncle's wife, we kept this secret because we had almost 600 grams of gold, which we ended up selling. We hid this gold throughout the funeral, for no one knew that when he returned back, he had so much gold. We sold the gold, we reinvested that money into another business that me and her, we both own. So when he got sick, he passed away. When he passed away, I realized that what we did was quite evil. But I love this woman. She loves me. She is way older than I am, but I am in love with her. So she has since told me that for us to be free, we need to go to South Africa because she wants to give me a child. And she said that in South Africa, there are better medical facilities there. And if we can go there, we would try to go to a fertility clinic, because financially we are able to do whatever we want. We are able to go and live wherever we want to. She said if we can find any young South African woman who likes money, she can be the surrogate to our child. She will be the one that will be carrying our baby. But the problem is that she said we have to wait in line, but we have money. If we do not want to wait in the line, we can still skip the queue. This is my confession. We have since been planning to move out of Zim because we cannot enjoy our love when we are here in Zim, because our relationship is considered to be a taboo. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. That was the translation of that message. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.